You know, Vinny's whole racism incident is actually kind of poetic. I mean, think about it. A dark-skinned Brazilian at the top of his game, one of the best players in the world, scores a phenomenal goal, and out of celebration, out of joy, what does he do? He dances. You know, it's a happy moment. But the symbolism behind that is he's a dark-skinned Brazilian celebrating a victorious moment against a Portuguese team. And who were the biggest catalysts of colonization in Brazil? The reason why Brazilians today speak Portuguese? Portugal. But yeah, we can end it there, but let's go a step further. A player from said Portuguese team covers his mouth and allegedly calls this dark-skinned Brazilian a monkey. That player happens to be from the country that is Brazil's biggest rival, not in a political sense, strictly in football, Argentina. And the scriptwriters are cooking. But they're not done. This said dark-skinned Brazilian becomes upset and runs to the leader, the power figure of said Portuguese team, a white Portuguese man, the manager, Jose Mourinho, who of course doesn't appear to do much to change the situation, and even proceeds to make ridiculous excuses in a press conference afterwards, blaming the nature of the celebration, but not the reaction from his own player. And in the end, in true poetic fashion, who is the one player who directly confronts said Argentinian player for the sake of his dark-skinned Brazilian teammate? The half French, half Cameroonian player. You can't make this up. Now listen, maybe I'm going too deep with it, and I've seen plenty of objective great takes from my brother Matty FC, Culture Cams, even Thierry Henry and Micah Richards. But sometimes it feels like life is trying to tell us a little bit more. So at this point, it's up to us to either listen and do something about it, because nothing changes if nothing changes, or accept it, continue to be outraged, and keep some of the same habits and norms that we're going to end up being outraged again and again and again with. And it's just going to keep being the same thing at this point. Like, we're going to keep talking about it, get mad, and the same things are going to keep happening.
Jose Mourinho really disappointed me tonight. Like, he really fell my hand. I look at him as the #1 manager when it comes to fighting for black players and generally speaking up about racism. But his comments on Vinicius tonight really disappointed me. He said, when it happens in so many stadiums, always with the same person, there's something wrong. I told Vinny, you scored a wonder goal. Why did you celebrate like that? Why didn't you celebrate a goal with just the happiness of being a great player? He then, went on to talk about some more things about the celebration. He should have gone to his teammates to celebrate. Mourinho, there was a bigger issue tonight. Mbappe has come out now and confirmed that Vinicius was called a monkey. Vinicius to himself, Vinicius is not a madman. He will not run to the referee immediately and try and walk off the pitch just because fans are booing him. He knows the repercussion of going to trigger the fans, as these guys always say it. And why is it that the response or the reply for you being provoked should always be you suffering from racism? Why? What does you being provoked have to do with the player's color? Why is it always this situation? Diego Costa used to trigger players. Ibrahimovic used to trigger. Ronaldo used to trigger players. There were a hell of players that used to trigger players. Was that because of their skin color? It's a disgrace to all of you that are always saying Vinicius is provoking opponents. That's why he's suffering racism. So the reply to provocation now is racism. I was really disappointed from Mourinho, honestly. And honestly, the only reason why I cannot even blow hot at him is because he has been such a massive advocate, and it was close to breaking my heart, this statement. I just see this as Mourinho being an old man and being an old-fashioned kind of guy in terms of like, oh, don't celebrate like this, don't celebrate like that. But I will never support boxing a player. He didn't do anything wrong. You are allowed to dance on the pitch. It has never been a crime. If you trigger fans, that's not a problem. You can reply anyhow you want. You can boo him, you can shout at him, but do not insult him by calling him a monkey or any other kind of racial slur. That is never a response. Vinicius is not a madman. He's a particular person that has been suffering this thing, and he knows what he's talking about. If that player was not a coward, why did he cover his mouth to speak? Why did he cover his mouth to make that statement? Players only usually cover their mouth when they are talking to their teammates because they want to say something. Why didn't he want the camera to catch what? Why was Vinicius' reply immediately to run to the referee? Why? Why did he want to leave the pitch? If he had insulted him, insulted his mother, insulted his wife, insulted his girlfriend or his sister, he would just fight back, say things, they will exchange words. Vinicius knows how to exchange words with people normally. But for him to run to the referee immediately and say, see, they called me a monkey or whatever racial slur it was. He's not a mad person. There's nobody, especially a man of color tonight, that should have any other thing other than support. Don't bring any. This is not the night for Vinicius should train himself more. Vinicius not. No. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing. There are people with worse characters than Vinicius that have never suffered racism. It's always a black man thing. This thing did not start today. It is historic. Go and learn about yourself. Go and learn about your history and stop supporting nonsense. The only thing you should do tonight is support Vinicius because he didn't know anything. He scored a beautiful goal, danced like he always danced, expressed himself, and then he suffers racism. What is the correlation?
People often don't realize that racism goes far beyond the borders of the United States of America. And it is very, very prevalent in soccer. Vinicius had a response on Twitter where he said, we got to translate that. Hold on.
Oh, there's a translation here. It says, many asked me to ignore it. Many others said that my fight was in vain and that I should just, quote, play football. But as I've always said, I'm not a victim of racism. I am a tormentor of racists.
Wow, that's a bar. Wait. Say that part again. Say that part again. Say it with your chest. Say that line again, please.
But I've always said I'm not a victim of racism. I am a tormentor of racist. The first criminal conviction in the history of Spain is not for me. It's for all black people.
After the match, Valverde cleared up the rumors to the media about the Vini Jr. situation. And it was in this moment right here where this Benfica player allegedly called Vini Jr. a racial slur, with a lot of people questioning, hey, how do we know the Benfica player actually said it? And as we know, Valverde does not play when it comes to Real Madrid and his teammates, so of course he stepped in. Valverde went on to say it was not just Vini who heard it. Every one of our players who was near Prestiani heard it. He said a really, really bad, pathetic word. This entire situation is absolutely disgusting to me, and at the end of the match, we also then saw Benfica fans throw their water bottles at Vini, with other Benfica players just piling onto the situation, which again, vile and disgusting. But take it from the players' mouths themselves who were on the pitch and heard it, that these are very real and human situations that Vini Jr. has to endure while he's on the pitch playing football, which ultimately I think we can agree on needs to be erased from football.
Why do guys do this? So the reason why guys do this is because they don't want the cameras to know what they're saying. So you see, you've got to do the math here. Let's do the math. Vinny scores the goal. Vinny now does the Macarena to the corner flag. Provocative. The Benfica fans are pissed off. The Benfica players are pissed off because they feel the celebration is mocking and provocative. You can see how angry the Benfica players are. So Prestiani and Vinny have a back and forth. Prestiani is saying stuff to Vinny. Vinny is saying stuff back. Prestiani is speaking like this fully. He's not covering his mouth. He's saying stuff. Then Prestiani then covers his mouth and says something. Vinny hears it and says to the referee, mono, which of course means monkey, translated from Spanish. This is the O.J. Simpson complex. I am 99% sure that O.J. Simpson killed those two people. I am 99% sure. But because that's 1%, you can't convict. I believe he did it. He did it. Even if it was found innocent, I believe O.J. Simpson is guilty and he did it. He is a murderer. He did it and he got off. But because I'm not 100% sure, you can't convict. I am 99% sure that Prestiani racially abused Vinny. But because there's that 1%, because his mouth was covered, you can't send him off. You can't convict him. You simply can't. So the referee did the right thing because the referee said to Vinny that his mouth was covered and we don't know for sure what was said. Because you can't have any mouth readers because his mouth was covered. So it's your word against his. And we can't go through with that. But if you just do the math, why did you cover your mouth? Because we know that you're angry. We know your teammates are angry. You know you're having a back and forth, and your back and forth is angry based on Vinny's celebration. So you covering your mouth, why are you covering your mouth to say puta merda? Or puta? People say that all the time. But you're calling him out because, no, this is more than puta. This is more than puta de merda. This is something that you don't want other people to hear. Hence why you want the mouth to be covered. It's simple math.
Por quê? Por quê? Por quê? Por quê? Por quê pra mim? Por quê? Cagão! Cagão de merda! Cagão! Cagão! Ei, ei! Disse macaco, macaco, macaco pra mim! Macaco pra mim! Macaco pra mim! Why? 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 Why for me? Why? Cagão! Cagão de merda! Cagão! Cagão! Ei, ei! Say mola, mola, mola for me! Monkey for me! Monkey for me! Aproveite e segue o Veloso com 2 L's.
Guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and thank you so much for your support and for the love that you are continue to show us by liking and subscribing, and kindly continue subscribing to my channel, and I've really appreciated. If it's your first time that you have watched or have seen this face, my name is Rin Jambi, and we are here just for commentary, and let's talk about this thing is too bigger, and it's bigger than the trophy, it's bigger than the goals that you guys and these guys has been fighting for. And this man has been so aggressive in the field. He's a player for the Real Madrid, and he was playing in Argentina, whereby now the resist there is like something which is planted, is something which is so deep, and we can see like what happened in the pitch, whereby among the players or the competitors that he was on the pitch with, the playing with, this man happened to call him a monkey, trying to intimidate him. Little did he know that he was not just a player, but he is just a strong and a confident guy in the field who knows what he is doing, who knows what he is supposed to be done, and who knows what he deserves. He deserves the respect in that pitch, and that is what he has really acted on. He has just raised his voice, and he has condemned that which has happened in that pitch, whereby he was called a monkey, and he has confidently condemned and said like, no, with this we cannot go like this. I don't know what you think about this. If you watch those football, if you are watching those football clubs, or you are watching those things, I don't know what you think about it.
I think it's disgusting what Jose Mourinho has come out and said. His comments are disgraceful. They really are. He's had a go at him for celebrating a goal. I mean, he scored a worldie, you know, a fantastic goal, which we should all be talking about, and he goes and celebrates. He doesn't antagonise anyone, by the way. His celebration is absolutely fine. He goes over, he celebrates, he enjoys his moment, and that's it. He gets booked by the referee for celebrating, which, in my opinion, is disgraceful as well. And then he gets abused, and he has to then go to the referee and say, "I've been abused." For Jose Mourinho to come out and almost, you know, say that he brings it upon himself, I think it's outrageous. I think it's totally unfair. You know, Vinicius Júnior comes under criticism all the time because he's the one getting racially abused. So you can't say that he brings it upon himself, or, you know, it's always when Vinicius Júnior's on a football pitch. Well, it's because he's the one getting targeted. And I think his comments in reflection, I think he will regret them. I think he's made a massive mistake, and I think he's bang out of order to question Vinicius Júnior for celebrating a brilliant goal that he's entitled to do.
There is no 100% evidence right now that Benfica player called Vinicius a monkey yesterday. Even UEFA has announced today that they are going to start investigations. But I choose to believe in it right here, right now. There is enough evidence to back Vini's claim of suffering racism yesterday. Enough video evidence. And I'm going to break everything down for you in this video. I'm going to give you hardcore evidence. Look at this video first. This is the video of the incidents. Look at what happened. The player covered his mouth and said something. Immediately, Vinicius ran to the referee. He did not hesitate. The moment the player covered his mouth and said something, he ran to the referee. That is not another thing. Now, observe Mbappe in this video. Just observe Mbappe. Mbappe looked first, and like, you know when somebody says something and you look back, what do you say? Just watch it again. Mbappe was like, what did you say? What did you just say? And immediately, before Vinicius even came back, he did not know what Vinicius was going to tell the referee. Mbappe immediately pointed at the guy and told him, "You are a racist. You are a racist. You are a racist." So there was no prior communication between Mbappe and Vinicius. Before you say two of them are collaborating to bring down this boy or whatever you want to say, there was no communication. Mbappe heard him on his own and said what Vinicius said before Vinicius even came back and told him. So Vinicius did not even report to Mbappe what happened. Then again, look at the guy's reaction when Mbappe confronted him. When somebody did something and you are confronted the person, you will know. If he did not do it, Mbappe was to his face calling him, you are a racist, you are a racist, you are a racist. He could not speak back. He could not talk back. Why? That is the face of a guilty man. He was just there timid. He was just there calm. Then he now had this, that smile of when you are guilty, that kind of thing. That is exactly what happened. Why didn't he retaliate when Mbappe confronted him? That is another evidence. There's still more. When Vinicius wanted to leave the stadium, Mourinho caught him and started talking to him. Mbappe immediately ran to the incident. Mourinho, I know what I heard. We know what we heard. This is what was said. He was called a monkey. He was called a monkey. That's why Mbappe ran there and told him. Immediately he ran to Mourinho. Why did he run to Mourinho? Why was he so sure? Why did Mbappe have that level of conviction? Is he a mad person? That's something he did not hear. He will go and defend like that. Is it for the reputation he has? Right now, he's probably the face of football. He will go and partake in this kind of thing. Now, Mbappe did not still rest. Immediately after the game, Mbappe tweeted something. He tweeted, Baila Vini, which means dance Vini, and please never stop. They will never tell us what we have to do or not. This is Mbappe that has a different personality from Vini. He's not into all those dancing and stuff like that. There are people that like to dance and they are quiet people. But Mbappe is still supporting him. Why is Mbappe supporting him so much if you did not hear what he said? Ask yourself this question. Two of the biggest superstars in the game will just come together and lie against a nobody. Who knew this boy before yesterday? Maybe they have never even played against him before yesterday. Or maybe the last time they played Benfica. Why would they have something against him? Ask yourself this question. They are putting their reputation on the line. And for Vini that fights so passionately against racism, he will never ever false blame anybody. Why will he lie against somebody? Ask yourself this question. What do they stand to gain? That's what you should be asking yourself in this kind of situation. What do they stand to gain from lying against this boy? What is the possible outcome of falsely accusing him? Mbappe came out in his interview again and said that they should even ban him from the Champions League, that he called Vinicius a monkey 5 times. Why will he use such a specific number? Why will he come out and say this in the interview? Why will he be so sure and so confident? Ask yourself this question. From the video evidence I showed you at the start, Vinicius had not even told Mbappe what happened. He went to report his own. Mbappe started confronting the person to his face. He confronted him. The guy could not do anything. Why? We are not simpletons. Let's not act oblivious. Let's be logical. Let's use the evidence we have. While UEFA carry out their own investigation, I've done my own investigation. I've done my own digging. I've watched all the evidence time and time again. Even before Vinicius scored the goal, the Benfica fans already in stadium doing like this. Call him a monkey, call him a monkey. He did not react to all that one. It was this player, his fellow player, that called him a monkey. Mbappe has fought for this case. Mbappe has tweeted, has spoken more than Vinicius. Will Kylian Mbappe, with the way he loves his reputation, the way he protects his reputation, will he risk his reputation for a lie? Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. It is simple. So with the evidence there, I 100% trust and believe Vinicius Júnior. There's no doubt in my mind that Vinicius, that thing happened yesterday. For him to claim this thing and Mbappe to so valiantly fight by his side, like it was him that suffered it, because it's basically his brother that suffered it. For all of you that say, oh, Mbappe doesn't love Vini. Yesterday, were you not surprised to an extent of how he defended Vini? Were you not surprised that Mbappe was ready to get a red card and leave that pitch for Vini? He was ready to, he told Vini that anything you want to do, let's do it. If you want to leave this, you people were the same ones that were supporting, oh, Senegal is standing against us. Senegal is this, and that is just normal football self, the Senegal zone. This one is human degradation. Historic human degradation that has been happening since our forefathers' time. Many of you are doing political correctness. This is evidence for me, more than enough evidence. Mbappe and Vinicius are two of the most credible footballers in the world. They will not want to waste their credibility on some random Argentine Benfica player. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. I'm sure in law there's something that they call motive. What is the motive? What could be the possible motive for them to lie against this guy? Think about it. Why would they want to bring down this guy? Think about it. Think about it.
Went to this guy, said something to him, then the guy called you a monkey and you are crying. Make it make sense. And you are saying there's no excuse for racism. I need you to explain that statement to me. So you are saying if I was a white man and a black man comes to me, call me a bastard, say my papa, say my mama, you are saying I have no right to respond whatever way I want to respond. Treat people the way you want them to treat you. So if you call me bastard, I have the right to call you whatever I want to call you.
This has to be one of the worst videos that I've ever seen regarding racism. And no surprises, is coming from a fellow African, a fellow black man. No surprises there, like I say it. We are the first to bring each other down. We are the first to bring each other down. This was a very disappointing video that, in as much as I've seen terrible takes from you, I did not expect something so pathetic like this from you. I did not expect it. I'm not going to lie. Because look at, first of all, you are saying that you cannot provoke me. You cannot provoke me and not expect to have a reaction and stuff like that. Broski, so you did not see when they were provoking Vinny, you are going to pretend that you did not see the gestures, the monkey gestures that the fans were making towards Vinicius Júnior. Right? You did not see that one. And then you are saying you cannot insult me and tell me how I'm going to insult you. So racism is the excuse. If you call somebody an idiot or you call somebody a bastard, then it's okay for the person to be racist. Do you understand that racism is a crime? Do you understand there is an anti-racist protocol which the referee followed in football? Which insult in football has a protocol like the anti-racist protocol in football? That's to show you the weight that racism carries. But you, as a fellow African, is okay with racial abuse. Very okay with it because it is being provoked by something that is not racist. Are you joking right now? Is this so pathetic? Did you not even hear yourself? I don't even understand. Did you not hear yourself? That is why I say there is no excuse for racism. Because no matter what somebody says or does to you, as long as it is not racist, there is absolutely no reason for you to be racist. You can hit the person with the same effects without being racist, since the person hit you with that effect without being racist. So what was the excuse to be racist? Why did you have to attack the person race? What was the excuse? It's such a pathetic take, man. It's so pathetic. Honestly, what did Vinny do that you claim is the reason why, you know, he provoked the fans? Everybody's saying he provoked the fans. He danced in the corner flag. That's provoking the fans. They were making monkey gestures and he danced in the corner flag. Bro, that's provoking the fans. How many players have danced or celebrated in the corner flag? Kicked the corner flag, danced there, do everything there. Roger Miller was so popular for his celebration in the corner flag. Kozawa celebrated in the corner flag, danced there with the corner flag. And you are trying to tell me, oh, this is so bad. You guys, and I understand that, you know, because we're all in Africa, everybody's the same skin color. So it's not, you can't really feel this racism. But when you talk about how it affects people outside of Africa, in European countries, maybe that's when you'll understand. Because this video, it shows that maybe you just completely did absolutely no research on what racism have done, the effect of racism, what it has done to people, the fact that even in Argentina, we have heard that so many people were unalived simply because of their skin color. So many people were put down, stepped upon, trampled on in different parts of European countries and American countries because of their skin color, even to today, till today. But we are saying that racial abuse, which is where all of these things begin, when you excuse it, when you keep quiet about it, you give room for it to grow and flourish. We should let it happen. The fact that you didn't say anything wrong with this your video tells me a whole lot. My opinion about you have really changed.
You can see any form of racism in society, let alone football, is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I cannot speak about an incident where an investigation is ongoing. I won't speak about that incident. What I would say is when you see a player upset, how Vinicius Júnior was upset, normally they're upset for a reason. I've been racially abused myself. I know people have been racially abused. And what people have to understand is when you are judged for something that you should be proud of, it is the worst feeling you can ever possibly imagine. There are historical things to racism. I need to, as manager of this unbelievable football club, make my statement on it. If any player or any coach or any manager is ever found guilty of racism, they shouldn't be in the game. Shouldn't be in the game. It's as simple as that for me.
Vinicius! Vinicius! Vinicius!
So Argentina is launching a social media campaign urging tourists to avoid Brazil because it criminalizes racism. All right, so this is not a anti-Argentina post. I love Argentina. I love my Argentinians. This isn't against y'all. This is against the racists within these certain countries, some of them being in Argentina. We had that girl in Rio that was making monkey noises that I made a post about yesterday that blew up. We had the situation that happened to Vinícius Júnior, who's a famous football player from Brazil. He was playing in Portugal against Benfica, and after Vinícius Júnior scored a goal, an Argentinian player approached him with his shirt over his mouth like that, so that way nobody could lip read him, and he started calling him monkey 3 times. And also the video I played before this, where a little kid was basically calling a monkey Vinícius Júnior. All right, which is extremely concerning to me because he's extremely young, meaning that racism in certain countries is taught at a very, very young age, and it is acceptable because the parent that was in the video didn't even say anything to the kid. The parent allowed the kid to keep saying what he was saying without stopping him, which is concerning. And let's not forget what happened a couple years ago in 2024 after the Copa America when the Argentinian national team beat Colombia, went to the bus to celebrate, and started making songs about Mbappe, a black player from France, who had nothing to do with the game they just played, the championship game they just played, and decided to make fun of him. And they basically said that he's not from France because he's black. See, things like that make certain countries look bad. I know not every Argentinian is the same because I've met amazing Argentinians around the world. But people like this and these celebrities are making y'all look bad. And instead of y'all actually taking some accountability to be like, you know what, we fucked up. Let's chillax. Let's start cracking down on racism. Nah, y'all double down and you enable these racist people to keep doing what they're doing by posting things like this, saying, oh no, don't go to Brazil because they criminalize racism. Let's just go to another country and be racist over there. It's shit like that that gives certain people a bad look around the world. And until y'all change, it's going to continue to happen. But shout out to Brazil. I always got y'all back. Shout out to Latin America. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think this was right for them to post? Do you think this is a good idea to be urging tourists to avoid certain places because they criminalize racism? Do y'all think that racism should be illegal? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear from y'all.
Every time Vinícius Júnior gets a big night, instead of just celebrating his talent, we're talking about something ugly again, yeah? He scores, he celebrates, he dances. That's joy, that's football, that's the culture, yeah? Yes, he danced in front of the opposition fans. So what? Players celebrate in front of away ends all the time. That's part of football. That's emotion. That's the game, yeah? But being called a monkey in 2026, that's not banter. That's not passion. That's racism. Disgusting. Simple as that. And then he ends up getting a yellow card for dancing. Come on. For celebrating a goal? So that's what we're punishing now, huh? So let me understand this, yeah? So he gets racially abused, but he's the one booked for showing joy? That double standard, it's clear. It's right there in front of everyone. When other players wind up fans, it's called mentality. It's called confidence. But when he does it, it suddenly becomes a problem. Man! And the craziest part, he still performs. He still scores. He still stands tall, yeah? You don't have to support Real Madrid to see this isn't right. Football is supposed to be emotion, yeah? If your score in a hostile stadium and you celebrate. That's football. Vinicius Júnior. Vinny Jr. should be talked about for his talent, not constantly defending his right to enjoy the game. That's it. Not constantly defending his right to enjoy the game. Man, this is spoiling football right now. We stand with you, Vinny. We stand with you.
First of all, the problem with a lot of you is that you don't relax before passing judgments. That's the problem with a lot of you. So a lot of you claim that Vinicius was yellow carded because he danced, and that because he danced, that's what provoked the Benfica fans. Watch this video. You just watch this video. You've seen it. You've seen where the provocation started from. You've seen why he was yellow carded. You could clearly see that he was not yellow carded because of the dancing. He was yellow carded because of the way he was walking and then wiggling his shirt. Vinicius knew what he is doing. He knew what he was doing. He wanted a reaction. He was provoking the people. Vinicius knew what he was doing. So later you come and play the victim card, and that is exactly what he did. If they ask you right now, what shows that Cristiani racially abused Vinicius? You see, it's because Vinicius went and told the referee that he was abused. A lot of you say Mbappe said that the guy called Vinicius monkey 5 times. Look at where Mbappe is standing. Look at where Vinicius and Camavinga are standing. If the guy said anything, but I'm telling you for a fact that Camavinga would have run after Vinicius Júnior and go complain to the referee. Only he ran. People come over there. So you are supporting somebody blindly. You score goal, you dance. Then you decided to taunt the people by walking provocatively, wiggling your shirt. What's the meaning of that? Look at where Mbappe is standing. He's also there. We make the call for them. Were we not here when Valverde was racially abusing Asian people?
Hay el número 25 de Benfica, no quiero decir su nombre, no lo merece, que empezó a hablar mal. También no se acepta, pero ha pasado en el fútbol y pasará. Pero después ha metido su camiseta aquí para decir que Vini es un mono 5 veces. Yo lo escucho. Hay jugadores que lo han escuchado de Benfica también. En el estadio yo pienso que hay 70.000 personas que han hecho nada, que únicamente querían apoyar a su equipo. Yo tengo el máximo respeto para el Benfica, para su entrenador, que es uno de los mejores de la historia, que ha hecho la historia de Real Madrid. Pero este jugador para mí no merece jugar más la Champions.
I'm not lying. He called me a monkey. That Benfica player racially abused me, but the referee didn't give him even a yellow card. He first covered his mouth, then he called me a monkey. I won't let it slide easily until he comes out and apologizes to me or FIFA punishes him. About my goal, I love scoring against SL Benfica away. Beautiful stadium, amazing fans. But tonight I had to turn it into my dance flow. When I danced at the corner flag and got a yellow card, I was surprised. So dancing is more dangerous than racism now. Interesting rules. Maybe next time I should just stand still and cry instead. People try to provoke me, but they forget one thing. When I get angry, I play better. So honestly, if they want to keep talking, I might end the season with 50 goals and do 100 yellow cards for dancing. But jokes aside, the most important thing is the win. We came, we saw, we scored, we left 3 points.
You think you have seen it all? I want you to know that there's a crazy amount of people out there, blacks out there, I mean Nigerians, Ghanaians out there supporting racism. I want you to know that there is a crazy amount of people out there, blacks, my fellow blacks like this, supporting another black man getting racial slurs. You sit in your house and you are telling me, why always Vinny? Is it the only black player in the team? Coming from a fellow black person, it's really appalling, really appalling to hear. Because you think you're Argentine by Messi or Portuguese by Ronaldo, you think you are immune. You think you're immune to racial abuse.
If you want to say something, don't cover your mouth. If it's nothing that you said that is going to be offensive to someone of a racial undertone, don't cover your mouth. I've been a player myself. We've exchanged words that might not be pleasant to some people, talking about your wife, your mother, whatever it is. But when it's a racial undertone behind it, that's when you probably will cover your mouth, because you know now in the modern game there's cameras everywhere, you could see everything. So if it's something you say about your mum, say something about your mum, your wife, or whatever it is. Don't cover your mouth. So for me, there's nothing that hits harder as a player, especially as a black player, when you face racism on the football pitch. I could tell you now, every time I was racially abused on the football pitch by another player, it hits harder. We know fans are going to say racist stuff in the stadium, this and that. We know about that because we go throughout our life as youngsters knowing that this is what's going to happen. We grew up watching John Barnes have bananas thrown on the pitch as being one of the only few black players playing in England at the time. I played with Michael Thomas with the racial stories that they tell me, Robbie Earle, all these players who went before us to make a pathway for us to go racially abused, and we had to see that. So when it gets said by another player, it hits harder.
He's this person who made many people and many fans even to pay and go and watch him doing the moves. And also, he's this man whereby the defenders, they struggle a lot to stop his move because he is very electrical, he's very energetic, and he's very confident in the field. He is known by that, and he has made the team, which is Madrid, to win many trophies by his support. So he's one of the pillar in the Real Madrid team, whereby now we can see we've seen the comment that has been commented by the manager of the Real Madrid, that whereby he said his reaction was different. He wasn't supposed to be that happy. How you're supposed to react when you're happy? I don't know how. I don't know why some whites, when they do we do the same thing, but when it comes to the white, it is something legal. When it comes to the black, it is illegal. And that's what they are saying, the reason why these things happen, because his reaction, because his call wasn't good, his reaction was different. I mean, now the discussion is, why was he dancing, or why was he rejoicing, looking at the people whom he is competing with? Where was he supposed to start? He was in the field, he was in his place, he was in place of action, and that's what happened. And it happened in the field. He was irritating these men without him knowing that his moves, or who he is, his confidence, the power on earth, it is irritating these guys and made them now, this one of them, to call him a monkey. And he really fought it, and we are fighting it, and many people have fought it, and many has reacted or has commented and has reacted on the incidents, what happened in that picture. And I know what you think about it. I don't know, in this month whereby we as Americans are celebrating Black American history, how is it related to what is happening? How can we learn? What can we learn from the Black history thing, or compared now to what is happening? Does the this fire of resist has gone through to all the world? People don't see people like they are men or they are humans. They see them differently. They see them and adorate them. They see them and adorate them based on color, based on culture. And people fail to remember, we are human and we are all diverse. Everyone deserves to be respected, regardless of where that person comes from. If this person doesn't believe in today's technology and all that, he's living in the forest, he has his own culture, he's naked in the forest, he's even eating low meat and all that. If that's his life, you have to respect that. That is him, and that's what he honors, and that is his life. You have to respect him. He doesn't have to be like you to be called a man or a human. We can see and we can learn this man has known the football thing is not about just playing the football. It is a place, or it's a gadget, or it's a platform of voice. It's a platform of shaping the history, and it's a platform whereby there can be a voice for change, whereby now the blacks should be respected. The Black Life Matters, and the reason why you are so much concerned about the football is because football is a platform whereby it unifies, or it brings like all cultures, all people, all nations together. It's a field whereby people play football, and you play with a nation whereby you don't belong to that nation, because it's the business of the world. It's not a business of the club. It's not the business of one country. No, it's a business of the world. So if you guys, you're not happy about something, or that game, or that you are not a fan of a certain club, there are people who are dying for that club also. So it belongs somewhere. If those country or that country is not pleasing you, maybe they are black, there are people who are celebrating them, and they now respect the people who are after them, and those who are like watching them, who are respecting them, who are their owner, they honor them. So because of that, you have now to respect that club. You have to know to respect that team, because football is not about the team. It's not about the club. It's not about all this what is happening, or we have been shown. You do racial thing against a certain club. You just hate it because it's the black people who are playing the football. We have learned a lot from the incidents or what has been happening, and now coming back now to this, like people don't learn, like coming back now to this, and we are seeing like there are even children who are celebrating and calling monkeys Vinicius Júnior, meaning that this something, it's not even for, it's something that has been ignited to someone's confide when he was a young person. So it is something which is taught. So you can just see like a man who is of age bullying this man in the field when he's playing the game, and has been reported like this is not the first time that he has gone through all these. He has faced a racist chanting from sections of the crowd, not once, not twice, but repeatedly. But Vinicius decided to speak. He decided like he's the voice. He will speak for those people who chose to ignore this chanting of racism. He chose to speak and to talk about them. He called it out publicly. Like he demanded action, and the action was done. Once you see a referee doing that sign, like we do like this, it's like a racial thing has been detected. It has been detected, and we are getting rid of this, because football club is a football whereby we know people are so disciplined. They are trained to embrace each other, to embrace the culture, to embrace the races. Being different from your race, being different from your color, doesn't mean like I cannot play football, I cannot be strong. So guys, they are being trained, and these are professional people. So you wonder like how can such a professional player miss and risk his career just being so emotional and reacted and like tried to bully this man, or trying to, because this is intimidation. Whenever you see a person who is pushing you to a breaking point, this person is trying to control you. But once you reject, once you say no, you call you names, and they want you to behave and to react to that. You have seen the blacks people being bullied in the football clubs, and this has been happening, and you have now to come now and condemn it even more. If they don't want you, you also don't need them. Yes, because you know what shocks me is to know that people fail to know this color, and people refused and rejected to know that difference is not a measure of a lesser person or a weak person. Many people have diverse languages, and that's the world. That is how we are created. That's the nature. And it doesn't mean like you are lesser than that person. So once you rise up and you challenge the white supremacy or white mindset, because it's all about them. It's all about the mindset. It's all about the thinking, what they have been wired to think about the blacks, and to think like blacks' lives don't matter. Sometimes you can just see a person looking at you with a gaze of amaze, like you're existing, you're alive, you can talk, you can speak, you can eat. Let them know that black people do the same thing that you guys does. There's no difference. The only difference is color. The only difference is culture. The only difference that we have is our language, is the nationality, and we have been redeemed from all that, and now we have become, global has become like one. Now to understand and to apply and to swallow and to take the diversity of the humanity, and all people are humans. So guys, I don't know what you think about it, because I'm thinking for myself. I have got so many questions in my mind, knowing that this man is still young. But what I'm proud of is like he has shaped the football game to whereby now in future the other children who will play there of the color, they will be respected and they will be catered or taken like they are humans. They will be given space and nobody will boo them. And this punishment is good. People who are igniting this racism thing, they have not to be like banned, not even to dare play football, and not even to compete because of things. They have been just eliminated from playing football. Yeah. Because football is a family. Football is a field, or is a ground of whereby family come together, different colors, different nationality, different languages. Football is like a family. So I don't know why you want to pull it down, to make it feel like, and to make it be like a small group that you are. You're just a country. You're not the whole world. Football is all about the whole world. So guys, I don't know what you think about this. People are so outrageous and they have reacted to it very strongly. They have condemned what has happened, and as we can see the future, or as we can look back now to the history, we can see like this racism monster or this racist seed was planted to these children's life. Vinicius Júnior has just raised his voice, and the voice has to be respected. He has stood confidently and condemned it. So I think, and we are hoping like something will be amended. Nobody will be bullied because of the nationality, races, color, religion. Football will protect the diverse of all humanity in the world. So with this and many more, comment, share and like. Thank you.